Ahsoka, reeling from her bout with Maul and what he had said, knew that she had to find out for herself. She just hoped that she wasn't too late. Hello Rebels, welcome back to Rebel Base. Rebel Leader back with another What If. We will discuss what actually will happen if Ahsoka went to Mustafar instead of Obi-Wan to confront Anakin. I hope you guys enjoy this video, and if you do, please leave a like. If Maul was correct about what he said, Ahsoka didn't know, but she had to find out. There was one problem, however. She didn't know where to find Anakin. Her best bet would be to track down Padme and see if she knew where he was. Ahsoka decided to head to Coruscant to do just that. Ahsoka found Padme in her quarters, silently crying to herself. The pure look of shock and terror on her face explained and told Ahsoka all that she needed to know. Padme told her what had happened at the temple and that it wasn't Anakin, at least not the Anakin that she knew and loved. Ahsoka reassured Padme that Anakin was still in there and she would do all that she could to bring him back. Padme let Ahsoka know that she had tracked Anakin to the Mustafar system, and she would find him there. Ahsoka told Padme to stay put and that the next time she sees her, that it would be with Anakin. Ahsoka hoped that she was right. She knew that if it came down to her fighting Anakin, it ultimately wouldn't end well for her. Even though she did know his fighting styles, she just was no match for his raw strength. She still had no idea what she would find on Mustafar. With determination, she set off to go rescue her best friend and master in the galaxy. What Ahsoka found on Mustafar showed her just how hard she would have to fight to bring Anakin back. She didn't know what was promised or why he joined the dark side, but the image of the Separatists lying dead on the control room floor told her that he was in deep. Ahsoka had to find Anakin and fast before anything else happened to drive him further into the dark side. Lucky for her, she didn't have to look very long, because Anakin actually found her. Ahsoka was a surprise for sure. Anakin didn't expect to see her. He was waiting patiently for more instruction or for his master to show up. That didn't matter anymore because one thing was clear. Anakin had to deal with Ahsoka. Ahsoka tried her best to avoid a fight. She didn't see it going in her favor, so she resorted to reasoning with him, and if it came to it, she would have to go on the defensive. Ahsoka tried to explain that it wasn't too late to turn back. She told him that there were people that loved him and that they want to help. "You can't help. I've gone too far. I have to save the ones I love from death. You can't stop me." What did he mean? You can't prevent people from dying. Was this what swayed him to the dark side? Was it possible to prevent death and control the will of the Force? These questions swirled in her head. She desperately tried to find rational thinking with these questions. She thought about Anakin's life and what he has gone through. Anakin had been through the death of his mother, and now Padme must be in danger. It all makes sense to why Anakin would be swayed to the dark side for this power. She wasn't there to stop Anakin, but to reason with him. But before she could try again, Anakin lunged at her. Ahsoka wanted to avoid a duel at all costs, but that was inevitable now. She knew that she wouldn't last long. She wasn't as skilled as Obi-Wan and Sorsu, so she would have to act fast while defending herself the best she could. All throughout their duel, Ahsoka kept trying to connect with Anakin and remind him of who he once was. No matter how often Ahsoka tried to reach Anakin with her words, it didn't gain her any ground. In fact, it just made Anakin more angry each time she tried. It just kept reminding Anakin of what he could lose, and he would do anything to protect those he loves. Ahsoka knew this. She also knew that this battle had been going on too long and she was losing ground and energy. Ahsoka before has had intense battles that have lasted for hours, but none that have lasted as long with this intensity. She had to act fast, and in order to stop the duel, she had to make a radical decision. Ahsoka loved her master, knew that he would do anything to protect others, and she wanted to protect him at all costs. Seeing that she couldn't sway him, her only option would be to join him so she could accomplish her goal of protecting him. She would have to work on getting him back to Padme later. Ahsoka convinced Anakin that she was on his side and would do all that she could to help him. With Ahsoka joining Anakin on the dark side, this ended the duel between them. Anakin was now able to trust Ahsoka once again and explain why he chose to follow Palpatine. Ahsoka couldn't believe that Palpatine was the one behind it all. It did make sense as to why Palpatine was close to Anakin. Anakin couldn't wait to show his master how he was able to get another Jedi to join their cause. Anakin knew what great asset Ahsoka would be to them. After all, Ahsoka was the most loyal Jedi he has seen. He had no doubts that she would be loyal even now. Anakin was right about Ahsoka being loyal to him. What he didn't know was that she also had made a promise to Padme, which she intended to keep, which meant that she would do whatever she could to help fulfill that promise to Padme. Ahsoka liked being by her master once again. There was a familiarity to what she felt standing next to him. She longed to have Anakin back in the light. In order to accomplish this goal, she would have to help Anakin. She had to meet Palpatine and confront him for what he truly was, a Sith. Ahsoka was prepared to do anything for Anakin, but nothing could prepare her for what she was about to see. She could sense Palpatine's ship enter the atmosphere and touch down on the surface. With Palpatine there, it would be hard to protect Anakin and bring him back to the light. However, Ahsoka would do anything to bring her friend back. If that meant joining Palpatine, she was prepared to do that. Palpatine was shocked to find Ahsoka there with Anakin. The disturbance in the Force that he felt warning him about Anakin's safety should have been because of Kenobi. To find the Padawan to Skywalker was of less importance. Palpatine had hoped for Kenobi. He had hoped to get rid of Kenobi and squash any hope the Jedi had left. He had to get rid of Tano as well. He couldn't have anything left alive that would threaten his power.
Vader, you bring an apprentice before me.
Yes, Master.
You hope to take power from me and defeat me.
No, Master,
Then she will die.
Before Anakin could react, Palpatine began to shock Ahsoka. The raw power from the lightning was nothing like Ahsoka had felt before. She didn't have time to evade the attacks thanks to the intense battle with Anakin. The pain was excruciating, and any hope that Ahsoka had to help Anakin was slipping away. Ahsoka had hoped to be there for him, but it was too late. She could feel herself slipping from existence. Now was the time for her to act. Ahsoka could stand and muster the strength to fight and escape this torture, or she could give her life in hopes that it would bring Anakin back. She knew that she only had one option. She would give her life to awaken Anakin from this path he has gone down. With her decision made, Ahsoka gave in and gave her life for Anakin. Next to Padme, the one person that Anakin loved the most was Ahsoka. Now he was without this person forever. He would never get the chance to apologize to her for what had happened. Seeing Ahsoka give her life for him and watching Palpatine take it away enraged Anakin. Anakin finally realized that Ahsoka, Obi-Wan, and Padme were right. He can't go down this path any longer. He has to make things right in the galaxy. With Anakin's newfound resolve and determination, he decided to do what was right. In all of his anger for the way that he has been played by Palpatine, he grabbed Palpatine through the Force, choking him. Palpatine was still shocking Ahsoka's lifeless body when he began to be choked by Anakin. He knew that Anakin was powerful, but didn't know that he was strong enough to catch him off guard. With Anakin having the upper hand, and before Palpatine had time to react, he ignited his saber and ran it through Palpatine. Anakin threw Palpatine's body aside down the bank of the lava river and picked up Ahsoka's lifeless body. Anakin wept as he held her and carried her back to his ship. He couldn't take back what he had done, but he did have to move forward. He wanted to fix things in the Jedi Order and swore to correct his mistakes. First, he had to go see Padme. Anakin understood the love that Ahsoka had for him. It was the very expression of this love that led her to give her life. If you enjoyed this video, then I hope you leave a like. Please watch this other video if you want to see more Ahsoka What If videos. I hope you all have a great day. May the Force be with you, always.